Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, there's no doubt that there's all kinds of activity happening over there in Iraq. As a matter of fact, there's activity happening everywhere. It's really crazy. But we'll just focus on Iraq for now. Then I got a quick little story to share with you guys I'm sure you get a kick out of. So all the focus has been on Iraq, their politics, their banking system, the exchange rate, and that talk still continues today. It's exciting because we haven't seen so much chatter about the Iraqi Dinar exchange rate. But there is an article with some interesting wording that I think people should be interested in. So let's get going, shall we? Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link will be down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy Silver. Yes, it has changed. PIMPY-SILVER. So if you're watching this video and it's an older video, make sure you check on current videos because the code is going to be changing from time to time from now on. Also, I can be found on other platforms. Everybody knows I have my own website, Pimpy's News Network. Over here, I post videos that I can't get away with over on YouTube. Also, I have a group on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. Come on over here and join us. It's free to do so. You can also come follow me on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and Odyssey. The links for all these platforms will be down below in the description. So for whatever reason, if I get removed off of one platform, you could find me on the others. Okay then, look, Iraq exceeds Saudi Arabia with its oil exports to America in a week. So Iraq has definitely increased its delivery of oil to the United States. Of course, I expected this when Biden went over to kiss the butt of the Saudi royal family. It didn't quite go as smooth as he thought we would. And then Saudi Arabia turned around and signed an arms agreement with Russia. So congratulations to Iraq, who is supplying a ton of the oil to America. But Saudi Arabia has just announced that they're going to start using other dollars other than the petrodollar. So you can say hello to the decline of the US dollar like I've been speaking about. And how does that help us? Well, as the value of the US dollar declines, other currencies will rise against it. So as their economies are strengthening and ours is weakening, you get the picture. Rafidian announces the imminent opening of an outlet to sell dollars at the official price at Basra Airport. So it looks like they are finally getting the dollars that they have requested. That should help with the price of the open market anyways. Since there will be more American dollars available, it should curtail things just a little bit on the black market. All right, so this is that article I was talking about. Some interesting choice words that were used in here. Now, I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but it definitely is something to think about. So the government too, Baghdad today. We agree with Washington on the dollar and the results will appear in the markets. So we know that Washington and Iraq have come up with agreements to do something about the exchange rate. Now keep in mind, this is after the current exchange rate was already announced to the world. So whatever agreement they got coming up here, it sure sounds like another exchange rate change is coming in the future. Now again, stay grounded. We don't know. But the fact that they're talking about mechanisms to help with the exchange rate, we don't know what that is. Said Iraq government spokesman Al-Awadi said on Sunday that the results of the Iraq delegation negotiations with the U.S. administration in Washington resulted in many agreements, some of which related to the economy and their effects will be tangible in the near future. Al-Awadi told the news that the results of the dialogue of the Iraq negotiation delegation in the United States of America were very positive, and we reached many solutions and agreements with American parties, such as the Federal Bank, the Treasury, and the Foreign Affairs, and others, who are the big hitters. So the effects of these dialogue and agreement will be tangible in the near future, especially with regards to the dollar and exchange rate crisis. So the near future, whatever it is that they agreed on, it hasn't happened yet. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Like I said, there's some choice words in here that we should pay attention to, especially like these next ones. There is a new mechanism that will contribute to the stability of the exchange rate in the markets in the coming days and at the official rate. So what exactly are these mechanisms? What are they doing to stabilize the currency? I'm curious what's going to happen here. Now, I am feeling a little optimistic here because everybody thinks I'm such a naysayer, but that's not the case. I keep telling people they're just going to go up in increments. So we know that the budget has been put forward and they're supposed to be voting on it. I had made a suggestion that it appeared they might make another exchange rate change before the budget is released 100%. I said once the budget has been voted on, then we're stuck with this exchange rate at least for a year unless they want to amend the budget, which is a pain in the butt to do. So until that budget law has been passed, keep your fingers crossed. That doesn't mean we have to be a Debbie Downer, because obviously the currency exchange rate is on the minds of the people from Iraq as well as the United States. And if they're saying that they're putting mechanisms in there and that people in Iraq will feel the difference in the near future, well, if they're not doing it now, then they're going to do it later on in the very near future, most likely by the time the next budget comes out. Don't forget, we got early elections coming up. Now I got people out there telling me, no, Pimpy, man, they got an in-country rate versus an out-country rate. No, they don't. I've told you guys this, I don't know how many times. That doesn't make any sense. Do you understand if they had a different exchange rate compared to what the rest of the world has, the type of black market that would be created because of the two different rate changes? Does that make sense to you? All right, just for simplification, let me give you something to think about. Let's pretend that, in fact, there is an in-country rate versus the rest of the world, okay? Let's say that everybody outside of Iraq gets a rate of 1,300 dinars for every dollar, and the people on the inside of Iraq get 1,000 dinars for every dollar. Sure, that means they have more purchasing power, and inside Iraq, the currency is more valuable. But here's the problem. Why wouldn't I just have people outside of Iraq buy my Iraqi dinar for me and smuggle it to me in country? Because then for every dollar, I'm getting an additional 300 dinars for every dollar by buying the currency outside of Iraq. Does that make sense to you? Think about it. If they did it the other way around, either way, what ends up happening is you create a black market. Whether the exchange rate is better in country or out of country, you're still going to have people buying the dinars, selling them on the opposite side just so they can make more money. That's why you won't have an in-country rate. Whoever keeps saying that is full of crap, just so you know. Come on, people, just take a step back, deep breath, use a little common sense. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. None whatsoever. That they're going to have an in-country rate. There is no in-country rate. Those people are just blowing smoke up your ass because I've been exposing them. They're fakes. They're frauds. See, the Iraqi delegation headed by the foreign minister and deputy prime minister Hussein held negotiations with the United States administration on the relationship between the two countries in accordance with the strategic framework agreement signed between them previously. The negotiations dealt with issues of economy, energy, security, education, and other files. Yesterday, the U.S. Middle East Institute reported that the administration of Biden's pressured the Iraqi delegation to push Baghdad to redirect the Iraqi energy sector away from Iran and to deal with the accusations that its banking sector is helping the Iranian regime by evading Western sanctions. We spoke about this before. Says the Iraqi government is in a difficult situation economically and politically as it faces a reaction at home due to the sharp decline in the value of the dinar in light of increasing restrictions by the U.S. Federal Reserve on dollar withdrawals from the Central Bank of Iraq. The U.S. government's Peace Institute called the negotiations unprecedented and did not involve confusion or side calls to remove foreign forces from Iraq. So interesting choice of words on these two particular paragraphs. So it seems to me like they have some plans, definitely in the near future, for a possible rate change. when they say right here, the effect of the dialogue and agreement will be tangible in the near future, especially with regards to the dollar and exchange rate crisis. And then the next paragraph, it says there is a new mechanism that will contribute to the stability of the exchange rate in the market in the coming days and at the official rate. So stand by. We'll see what happens. So what's happened since the rate change took effect? Let's see. Dollar price close to 1,510 dinars on the Baghdad Stock Exchange. So we're talking about the open market. So it says the central exchange in Baghdad recorded this evening 1,510 dinars for every dollar, while the price in the morning was at 1,496 dinars per $1. So what are we looking at here? 1,400 dinars? Yeah, it's a pretty big chunk of change. But that should be expected. The increases barely happen. We'll give it some time to get caught up. The central bank imposes electronic platforms on all banks and banking companies. So they're forcing banks now to comply and get involved with this electronic platform. If you don't, then you don't get no dollars. And it looks like 15 more arrests were made involving the theft of the century. What's crazy is the names and their positions that they were holding. You guys let me know what you think down below, and I'll get back at you later. I'm out.